Hello, welcome back. Welcome.
Attack the C point.
These maps definitely feel weird.
Defend the C point. Negative. Attack the C point.
Okay. I didn't realize they make Little Among Us action figures now. He really does, and he's still as crazy as he's always been. Yeah, there's quite a few I saw. Grind C. Do it. You know you want to. That guy just give up? He kinda did. Cool, work for me. There it is. Just as I dropped him.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Yeah, the ocean stuff is, it's very different. I think it would be nicer with if they added some more high-tier boats, just because we could make use of naval missiles and stuff from some of the aircraft that have them. I think I think Among Us actually recently got an update with a new map, didn't it? Something like that. I've never even played the game. It seems like it could be, but it really would require the right people. It feels kind of like one of those kind of games. It's real good fun with a small group of not quite close-knit friends, but acquaintances. I personally just find it interesting because it had already been out for like, what, 3 or 4 years, and then it just suddenly super popular. Probably 3-ish, 4-ish months ago, 3-ish months ago, somewhere in there. Whatever my first video in, I think the Daily Grind series is at. That's my first YouTube video I posted. You're coming up on 10 years with it. Somebody on me. Yep, there he was. Nope, he got me. Yep, the snail thoroughly owns you. Looks like it's just gonna be a Spain kind of night. Getting Spain again. It's funny you say that. I am tired. Hello, Pedro. Favorite Dorito flavor? The two originals. Nacho cheese and ranch. Although I'd definitely say I probably lean more towards Cool Ranch. Although the spicy nacho one, I can definitely go for. They had two interesting brands out recently, or interesting flavors out recently. It was like a ketchup and a mustard flavored ones, and I didn't try either of them, but I'm curious if anyone did. Did he just take both of those out? He just took both of those out.
Our victory is here.
Missed. Yeah, I'm not even sure what the flavors are really called. Nope. Couldn't get lucky again. I probably could have got at least one of those bomb targets if that British one in front of me hadn't taken both of them. You know, maybe I'll play something different. Different plane. Let's do a different plane. Where am I at in each tree right now? Germany, I'm still in rank 1. Soviets, I'm in rank 2. Great Britain, rank 1. The only reason I even want to bother with the British tree is because I want the Lancaster bomber, just for the big bomb. That's it. That's all. That's all I want. This thing. 12,000 pounds. Good evening there. I was just talking about how great it is that the Lancaster gets a 12,000 pound bomb. That's just very big. Japan, I'm in rank 3. China, starting rank 2. Italy, France. Sweden, I'm the furthest along in. You know, I'm playing a little bit more Soviet tree. Maybe I'll level up these planes a little bit more. Let's see, what plane should I use? I have not played most of the other British ones. I've used the Spitfire in the Chinese tree, this one, and I do really like it. I will say that. But I have not ever really played the British stuff. I do have the Churchill Crocodile here from when they did the event. But fire's not that good in game. It's really kind of awful. A yak kebab. I-16. Let's see, which one can I use right now? MiG-33. There's just so many, and the differences seem small. The difference between a MiG-334 and a MiG-3 versus a MiG-315. Well, I guess it's just similar to the differences between F-16A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Send some off and sell them elsewhere. Throw a J or an E on. I'll take this one. Kebab. Cab. K-A-B-B. What does that stand for? Also, I do find it interesting that Yak and all those sorts of things are just like shortened versions of the names of the groups that worked on them. Migojevic, Sukhoi. And I know the other ones are as well, but I don't know many of them. I think this will be good. Some map variety. That's what I've been missing. 60% lion reward? 60%? They don't even give you the full thing?
Attention to the map!
This thing feels real designed on a budget. just looking at it. I kind of like it though. It kind of looks. It reminds me of a dragonfly with the cockpit the way that is. Reliable plane? Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of really like the way that cockpit's designed. It'd give a real good field of view. I don't see any AA.
I'm sorry!
Nope, just all artillery. The bomber they threw some stuff on. That's pretty funny. Although it's funny how often that kind of thing just works real well. Like if it's a reliable airframe, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. I see. But you do use it for cast fairly often? And you like it there? Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Ain't out yet. Get back here. Get back here, Mustang. I want to shoot you. The other one got me, though. Yeah, I think that's what I needed. A little something different than jets. Yeah. I mean, I didn't do great, but I had more fun, that's for sure. Hey, take a look at what this gets. It gets 4 bombs. 100 kilograms. He tried. He got a good couple hits on me in the beginning. I was hoping I would just ping that one through the cockpit when he was head on into me. Oh, Sinai. I almost always play this in a jet plane. Change this a little bit. It didn't feel comfortable at 800. Let's see how this one feels. Need a full tank. What's up, fellow cab? Also, wait a minute. I just noticed these square engines on it. This is just the front off a MiG, isn't it? Like, that's just 2 MiGs welded to an airframe, isn't it?
Attention to the designated grid square.
You gonna say kinda love it. It reminds me of something I'm gonna make in From the Depths. Perfectly. Maybe that'd be a fun little project. I'll remake this one. This actually looks like it has a design that would work well in that game. Actually, what's the inside look like? This is nice, actually. I like this. I love that you can actually see out in front of you a bit more.
Attention to the designated grid square.
There's no targeting computer on this, right? Nope. Nope, not quite. And the Soviet history with computers is a long one. And kind of a tragic one. I still think my favorite remnant of it is the ternary computer. Instead of binary, they developed one that worked on trinary, using 3 states instead of 2. Lost a wing, but I'm still alive. So I'm not out of it yet. No. Maybe I can get back. I should probably consider just trying to get back. Well, I don't know a ton about it, but I know some bits and pieces of things that occurred. Well, I know a lot, but I don't want to speak definitively on it. Because the Soviets did try to build computer systems to compete with what the West was creating at the time. And the West won for a lot of different reasons, but one of the odder reasons I've seen quoted is issues with the labor unions and worries about where to put human labor if it's taken over by automation. You know, legitimate concerns for a group that is built on the power of human labor. And a lot of the computer systems that they did work on were very interesting designs. Like, I love the ternary system. It makes the mathematics behind doing that so much easier. The trade-off being the complexity of the system. Because trying to create something that can generate that many states and have it be readable and viable to the machine is very difficult. That's why we only went with 2 in the West. For which thing? Initial computing research in the Soviet Union? I want to say it would probably be around the time of some of the initial prototypes in the 60s. There's a lot of computing technology in terms of the transistor doesn't show up in its modern form until I believe it's the late 70s. And before that, a lot of it was being done with I believe it wasn't the vacuum systems then. It was the in-between between the two. Oh, what was that thing? I can't remember. There's a few different ones. Hold on. I'm getting distracted. I need to land this thing, I think. Uh-oh. Stop. Just land it. Come on. You can do it.
The pressure on. Victory is
One
close.
bounce. Good. Come on. Land. I landed. I'm alive. Okay. So the major thing that pushed computing along is ballistics. Ballistics and cryptography are the two things that computing basically were designed for. Calculating artillery systems so that you could hit in the right areas. Doing cryptography, such as like the Germans for breaking the Enigma code. Yeah, that's what I mean with, it's hard to talk on the Soviet side of things because so much of the information that we have isn't really from them. It's hearsay from other groups. It's what's been gleaned from other people. So I really can't say a ton about it. There's only bits and pieces that have gotten through, and how much of that is trustworthy is hard to know. Because, like, why has nobody tried a ternary system since?
Let's keep the pressure on.
I'll have to look up some more information on it. You're making me want to go look it up again. And see what I can find again. But it's definitely one of those things where you gotta piece together what is fact and what is fiction and what's just straight up lies meant to confuse. ET-76. The PT. Is that one I have from Finland in my Sweden tree? If I remember correctly, I really liked that one because it gets a stabilizer to start with. Yeah, I think probably other issues that came about with computing is the relationship with Taiwan, for starters, where the majority of the world's computer chips are made. Oh, there's a lot. A lot of computing is basically only happened because of the militaries. It's like even go back far enough to where the computer comes from as a logic system, or how we deal with logic, and the foundation of that with engineering and stuff usually comes down to military uses. Things like, how do you use a catapult? How do you use a trebuchet? How do you deal with the logistics involved of fielding 200,000 soldiers? And so they develop primitive logic systems, ways of doing things, the abacus being an initial one for handling logistics. But like one of the things that really exemplifies the move from, there's kind of a three types of logic that ended up existing, I would say. There are more, but I'll go with these ones. Mechanical logic, which is the idea of, and after I finish this, I can show you very well. And there is a mix between the two, but that's, you'll see between the others as well. You just, oh my god, man. Unlocking everything. Okay, so when I x-ray this, and you can see these traction control surfaces that link directly to the front here. This is an example of a mechanical system and of an analog system. The analog being that when you move your foot, or when you move said pedal in this way, it causes this to move in a way analogous to said movement of the pedal. And so we use that logic system for traction control and surface control, all of these things. And when you move forward in time a little bit, we can go to the F14 here to kind of see a different example. This is when we get into analog computing and analog electronics. So this still used mechanical linkages mixed with analog electronics to help control things. And analog electronics work very differently from digital electronics. They focus a lot more on adaptation to noise and being a representation of a real-world phenomena. And then when we get into the 1970s with the creation of the transistor, we get to the F-16, probably, I believe, one of the first planes fielded using digital electronics. And because of that, it uses a fly-by-wire system instead, where the control linkages are no longer physically connected, they are electrically and digitally connected. And this allows you to not only give power to the pilot to control it, but allow a computer system to intervene in that logic and control on the pilot's behalf. With the F-16, this being a necessity because of its unstable flight dynamics. It cannot stay airborne on its own. If you were a pilot trying to pilot it without the flight computer, you would likely crash and die. All right, let's go do another Yak Yak. I like this one. This is a fun plane. It's a good one. But yeah, data dump there on logic systems. And a couple that have existed. You can also do logic in all kinds of other weird ways. People have found all kinds of crazy ways of figuring out how to build a logic system. Water is a commonly used one. I saw a really interesting paper where somebody turned a collection of soldier crabs into a logic gate. And finding that with enough crabs, you could recreate Doom and run it on crabs. See how wide are them? Them are really wide blades on that plane. Just realizing how much those. Okay, so that's why the engines are stuck so far forward.
Excuse me. I agree.
But yeah, even after the advent of digital electronics, it's continued to change, and the paradigms have changed as well. Because then it became not only about the logic of maintaining your individual plane or your individual system, but the logic involved with collections of those, even to the point of, you know, predicting what an ally might do, adjusting the performance of your aircraft in relation to the other planes around you. Basically, smart planes is where we're heading towards, and where we probably already are. From the little bit I've seen with the F-35 and it being designed kind of around that purpose of communication and information, more so than raw performance, the idea being that, well, logistics wins wars. So logistics is what should be focused on. And it could work well. 2.0. Is that Italy's suffering mark? Gripen E? What about the Gripen E? Was that an early digital electric plane?
Bumpers. Let it bumpers.
I did, it's just closed. Oh. Okay, yes. Yes, in the traditional way we look at logistics, 100%. It's kind of like a splitting hairs thing in how you treat logistics. Logic as the communication systems, or logic as in the resources systems. So with this one, they're not necessarily as concerned with the resources system. What they're concerned about with is communications. How quickly can we relay information and data from every plane in the sky? You know what, one way to look at it would be, how can we turn every plane into its own AWACS platform? But yeah, the Gripen E, if it's the one I'm thinking of, sounds like a phenomenal little plane. Takes off from a next to nothing runway size, operates on a very low amount of resources. A lot of things do sound better on paper. It's hard to know how a system's really going to perform until it's used. As for other things Sweden designs, I would say the most successful thing Sweden has designed would probably be the Carl Gustav and the AT-4. It's kind of like how Belgium makes some very nice machine guns. But I wouldn't necessarily get much else from them. Bomb site? Nope. It's been fun watching the technologies develop in this game as well. Things like when they added the helmet tracking for when you're inside some of the high-tier vehicles. It's crazy how long that technology's been around. It's a good example of something that was designed in military purposes, and it stayed there for a while just because of how chunky and expensive it was. And then it made it to the civilian market and got put in literally everything. Because I'm fairly certain it's just a collection of accelerometers and some other systems for tracking where your location is in the cockpit. I mean, you could do it with just like a set of IR sensors, really.
Defend the D point. Never! Attack the D point! Sorry! I refuse!
I like this little line up here. I'm trying to hit that.
Excuse me.
No, no, they're moving. They're moving.
D point. Thank you very much! Thanks. Attention to the designated grid zone!
Literally none of them hit. Nice. Hello there. A soul for a soul. Oh, I'm still flying. Yeah, 6,000 on that left. Oh, let's do something a little different. We'll drop some of these. Yeah, it's like, wildly enough, I'm pretty sure you could retrofit most modern phones to be a control system quite easily with the amount of computational power it actually has. If you were just to get it raw dog running Linux control over it, you could easily just program it to do anything. Do calculations for ballistics, things like that. I'm pretty sure that's how they're dealing with some things overseas right now. The Fab 1000. The big... Yeah, this is like a rebranded American vehicle. I'm not sure what the story is behind it. But you can still kind of see the old badge mark from US Air Force where they slapped the Soviet star over it.
Attention to the map!
Tier can be just so much more fun. I agree. I don't ever do that well, but I definitely do better. Although I think one of the biggest changes in low tier is really how many shots it can take to take someone down. Very possible there, yeah. It could have even been when we were that short-term ally with them when we were both fighting against the Germans. You know, as much of an ally as you can be in that kind of circumstance. Talking about the truest definition of just ally. I was mostly with the with FN referencing that they built the 240 weapon systems, the M240 Bravo, Gulf, and I think there's one more. The Gulf is a short model that was used in the Navy and the Marines, and the Bravo is the Army model. I think there's one more model.
Our victory is near.
Shoot. Oh, shoot. Ain't dead yet. Got him dropped. Nope, not the 249. The 249 fires 5.56. I think there's like another 240, like a 240K, 240 kilo maybe. I can't remember. All I know is the Gulf and the Bravo. See.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Hold on. I think we better bail, guys. Ooh, yep. That would be 240L. If that is one, that would be the one. I don't remember what it was for at all. I remember literally nothing about it. All I know is that B was pretty much standard and G was a short model that they would mount on vehicles. That's about it. I think the funniest thing with the 249, though, since you brought that one up, is definitely that you can stick an M16 magazine in the side of it. Yeah, it's just a 308 round in the 240.
Attention to the map! Attention to the map!
Sorry about that. Our fire alarm decided now was the perfect time for it to have its battery changed.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Adkampfwagen. That sounds like a fine lineup. You got the 2AV? I think I have the 2AV. That was like an event Leopard, wasn't it?
Attack the enemy!
Damaged a little bit. Yeah, I got a target with him though. Right. And we're gonna finish out the night with one last F-14 run. See if I can do something with it. Oh, nice. City. Alright, let's see how it goes. I did like the Cobb. That was fun. It's a good plane. And it seems at least capable of taking on other fighters, if it needs to. Overall, good plane. A+. Thumbs up review.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Let's see. I ain't interested in anything in here. I'm running for base. So, buddy. Oh, shoot. I don't think I'm gonna catch up with him. He got away. Bully. We got one missile left and 28 rounds of ammo. Let's see if we can take out this one. Nope. Didn't get him. Good match, though. I think that went pretty well. That was everything for tonight, so thank you everybody so much for watching. Welcome back, Pro. And I'll be doing one more night of air tomorrow night, and then to ground on Sunday. So I hope to see you all tomorrow night. So until then, good night and goodbye.